What's up, Exeters? Today we find ourselves here in the town of New Haven, Connecticut. So the reason we're here is kind of special in a way. We're here to talk about the Belle of New Haven. Now you may be asking yourself, like, well, what's the Belle of New Haven got to do with anything? Why is this so special? Well, I tell you, for us, it's because we're talking about Sarah Lockwood Party. Now, again, you may be asking yourself, who the crap is that, Phil? Like, why do I care about that? Well, because we've already kind of done another video on this person to an extent. And that person you probably know better as Miss Sarah Winchester. So, join us today on this adventure. All right, so we're here at what did I say this was?
I don't remember.
Evergreen. Isn't it Evergreen? It was on the map.
Evergreen Cemetery.
Yeah. Okay, so we're here at Evergreen Cemetery trying to find Miss Sarah Winchester's grave. As a lot of you probably know, she had the house, Winchester House, out in San Jose, California, that she was instructed to continue building through the spirits. You know, there's doors that lead to nowhere, windows lead to nowhere, staircases lead to nowhere. Yeah, you probably know the history. If you've probably seen the video. If you haven't, go check that out. But she was actually here from New Haven. She was considered the Belle of New Haven. She married into the famous Winchester family. And after her husband died, she decided, I guess, to start a new life and everything. And that's when she moved out to San Jose. And then the house came to be, the mansion came to be. Well, whenever she died, she was brought back here to New Haven. That's why we're here in Connecticut, looking for her stone. But there's a lot of interesting headstones out here. I mean, this is a pretty big cemetery. But we're going to find it. We do know that the headstone itself is roughly 8 feet in height, and it's a rough cut, so it's not going to look like this one you see here behind me, where it's all nice and smooth. Interesting enough, though, if you look right here, for some reason, this particular headstone has stones stacked under it. Now, I'm guessing that's because maybe the earth has moved since then. Maybe that's to help keep it balanced, from tilting over. But I mean, you would think if that's the case, because see, it's not just on one side. Maybe it's because they didn't want to level the ground. Maybe they thought this was easier. Who knows? But that's just interesting that they put stones under it versus just leveling out the ground. So like I said, we're going to find it. There's a lot of very, very large headstones here. There's a lot of really cool looking headstones. Some we passed earlier before we parked just looked like a rock. Like, it didn't look like a headstone of any kind you would normally see, where it's got the rounded top or square top. It literally looked like a rock, a giant boulder, so to speak, sitting there, and it just had a name on it. Unique, I mean, nonetheless. Like this one right here, okay? So this is Katie, wife of P.J. Lutz. This is what her tombstone looks like. Check this out. It's got like the wooden cross, an anchor, sitting on top of more stone. Pretty cool. Very interesting. Oh, okay. So I'm about to show you guys something. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say heartbreaking or whatever, but they have an entire row plots here that's for little kids, babies, little kids. Like this one in particular says, "Beloved son and brother." He looks like he died in 2014. But let me let you guys get a shot of this. So as you see, it goes from here all the way down to the angel that's right about where my finger is, right there. And it's little kid graves. They've kind of, like, you can see this is one of the headstones here. They put this little gate around. They put toys in here, little whatnots. There's like a little frog and teddy bear sitting there. Like this one is got a bunch of stuffed animals in it and a football. And it's got a picture of, I'm guessing maybe after maybe the baby was born, stillbirth. There's a little picture right there of it, and you can tell it doesn't look like it would have been very old. It's cool in a way that they've done this. It's like a little kid, little baby section of the cemetery, but you can see all of the plots. This is a plot. There's a plot. There's a plot. So they're really close together because you don't really need a lot, but at the same time, it's kind of sad. Especially like this one. This one looks like the baby was born October 26th and died October 27th. So a moment in my belly and a lifetime in my heart. So they were twins that died. Angel and Eduardo. A boy and a girl. Brother and sister. So, as we continue on, just thought it was kind of neat that it's a baby sad. It is sad because, you know, it's always sad when babies and little kids pass, but it was kind of neat. I've never seen this in cemetery before, where it's like a baby section. All right, well, let's continue on. Looking for Miss Sarah Winchester. Maybe check out a few other interesting plots along the way. Glad you guys are joining us, checking out this video. It's always fun to make them for you guys. We enjoy doing it. Hopefully one day, fingers crossed, get to do it full time. So there are several crypts here. There's one in particular that I saw when we were coming there. Take you guys down here and let you see it, since we haven't found the Sarah's grave yet. But this one's pretty big. It's pretty big. Mausoleum, crypt, whatever you want to call it. Not your normal headstones, but check this thing out. Last name Ransom. And there's several people buried in here. $16 of them. I see the one I was telling you guys about that's a giant boulder. That's what it looked like when we passed it. So check this out. Now when I told y'all it was a boulder, I wasn't kidding. That's somebody's headstone. There's nothing fancy. It's got a little mushroom looking tree in the back. And it's literally a boulder. Looks like marble. Looks like maybe instead of getting it refined and turned into a smooth headstone, they just took a big slab of marble, put it down here, and then, because this plaque here is not even part of it, it's not even the same color. So it looks like they cut it out, put that in there, and then just left it. I'd like to know the story behind that. There she is.
Well, there they are.
Or, well, yeah, there they are. Not just her. So that's going to be their headstone at 8 feet, just like I said. Uncut, looks like a giant rock. And then here's the footstones. William Wirt Winchester. It's funny, his initials are WWW. And then to the right is Miss Sarah Lockwood Winchester. Awesome. And then to his left is baby Annie. She was, how old was she when she died?
A few months, I think.
Yeah, her body couldn't process calories.
Or a few weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
She didn't make it to a year.
But her body couldn't process calories, so therefore she died of malnutrition. And that's sad. I was showing them the babies section over there earlier. That was one.
Yeah, that was that.
Yes.
I literally like teared up for a second with one of those little quotes that was on there.
Yeah, did you see the one that was twins that died like they were only like I think it was a day old. They were born in.
See that one.
They were born in at the end of 2020. It was a boy and girl. They
I
were
saw
twins.
one that had like the ultrasound picture on it.
Mm-hmm.
And a little quote up on there got me.
So they have a pretty good area. You have steps that come up, and then you can see the border goes all the way around. They got a tree planted there.
I was reading this bench right here was actually donated, and it says it for the caretakers of the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose.
Yep. I like how on the cross part of the headstone, the Winchester name looks like wood. So you got this nice slick marble. Let me just show you guys. But if you look, it looks like the words would have been made using wood or sticks, almost like put several sticks together to spell out something, and that's what it looks like. Or at least to me it does. Pretty cool.
All right, so before we leave this evergreen cemetery, I have one more story to tell.
Interesting.
So just keeping in, you know, what we're doing with Sarah Winchester and what like her life was when she moved to California, filled with, you know, ghostly tales of building this house for all these spirits. I'm gonna tell you a ghost story about the cemetery. And no, it has nothing to do with Sarah Winchester. This ghost story and this headstone have to do with Midnight Mary.
Who is Midnight Mary?
Well, we're gonna go find her grave and we'll find out.
Okay.
All right, so Midnight Mary. Who is it?
I don't know.
So we're gonna walk right over here and I'm gonna show you. Midnight Mary was known as Mary Hart when she was alive. So basically her story goes that one day she just fell out, dropped to the floor. So the family assumed she was dead. Took her here, buried her at Evergreen Cemetery. Her aunt started having nightmares night after night that she had been buried alive. So she forced them to exhume Mary's body. And when they opened the casket, they found bloody claws, scratch marks running all through the top of the casket, and a petrified look on Mary's face. So it's been said that it's a possibility that maybe Mary had a stroke and the family just thought she had died. So that's why they went ahead and buried her. So one story that I read coming from Mary was a worker here was called because an alarm went off at the cemetery. He came, it was a real icy night. His car probably ran along where ours is right now. Said that no matter how hard he tried to push the gas, his car would not move, almost like something was holding it here. He said the next day when he came into work, there were no records of any alarm that went off the night before.
Wicked.
Another one is a person that does the lantern tours through here. Said that her and her cousin came in and she started hearing a voice calling her deeper and deeper into the cemetery, and she thought it was her cousin's voice. And then she looked over and her cousin was nowhere near where the voice was coming from. So therefore she doesn't visit the cemetery at night anymore. But it said that if you are in this vicinity around midnight, or if you desecrate Mary's grave in any way, you will die shortly after.
Wait, so if you're in this cemetery after midnight, you're going to die shortly after?
Like around midnight.
I guess that's because that's when she died, was at midnight.
It was like I think it was right before midnight they said that she kind of went down. And so it has a quote on this tombstone that is very foreboding, and people think that that's like a warning, almost like a curse that she put on for being buried alive. So it says, the people shall be troubled at midnight and pass away.
The rest of it says, at high noon, just from and about to renew her daily work in her full strength of body and mind, Mary E. Hart, having fallen prostrate, remained unconscious until she died at midnight, October 15th, 1872. And she was born December 16th, 1824.
And you can see like people have left her offerings up here. I don't really want to touch anything.
No, we'll just get a shot of it. They've got pennies. They've got, somebody left a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Somebody left a skateboard. There's 3 cell phones. Looks like a necklace and a bunch of pennies and
Looks
some
like
rocks.
some sunglasses up under the skateboard too.
Looks like an orange pair of sunglasses, a vape pen, a marker. Just seeing what people left you, Mary. Not trying to mess with you. All right, well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. You know what to do by now. Hope you enjoyed seeing this lovely cemetery, hearing Renee's nice, unique story, and seeing the Winchester grave. We'll catch you guys down the road at the next exit.
Keep it spooky.
Later.